Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the policing of gamers. This came up a couple of days ago. We didn't get a chance to cover it, but Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, is basically like, hey, I want cross-platform bans and block lists on problematic gamers.
Well, who decides what's problematic?
Whoever is in charge.
Well, if you're going to do something like that, you're going to have to make a very, very clear rubric of what's considered problematic behavior. Otherwise, it could be nebulous, and you're going to look at lawsuits.
Just like Twitter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is an interesting development. Should not surprise anybody who's been paying attention that there is more and more, I guess you would say, collusion or sharing of information across gaming networks. I almost feel like we're going to have a social credit score for gamers. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're banned on one platform, you could be banned on another. And yeah, you know, Xbox, they're totally cool with that. We're gonna talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 253,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. We do talk a little bit about the video game industry, not as much as other channels, but this was a pretty interesting take by Phil Spencer, especially given where gamers are at right now. I don't think they're going to be real happy with him saying that Xbox is not a free speech platform. It's not a free speech. It's
for politics, basically. This is what concerns me. It's not a free speech platform for politics, which, you know, most people on there don't want it to be about politics. They're there to play games and have fun. Yeah. They're tired of politics, too. But what gets me is it goes from that to, we need to have a ban list across platforms. I don't understand how it goes from that to the other one, unless there's an agenda.
Very, very easily. In fact, you know, this kind of goes along with what we've seen in, you know, other social media too, that, you know, if a personality or an individual gets banned on one platform, they often will all be in lockstep. Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Google, they'll all just kind of ban that person across the board. And that seems to be what is being discussed, that, you know, if somebody is problematic on PlayStation or Xbox, then we're going to ban them.
Well, the thing is, they're legitimately doing shitty things and, like, you know, scamming people or doing something bad.
Trying to pick up minors or something like that.
You know, I kind of understand it, but the problem is too is, you know, where's the line drawn? Because I know that people get flagged or reported sometimes for things they didn't even really do. Although a lot of times we've had with, you know, our kids playing games, people did really bad things or whatever, and then there's no one to report it to.
Yeah, you know, it's so weird when people are actually making death threats against your kids and you try to report it. They're just like, yeah, whatever.
That sucks. You know, you get like a 2-day ban or whatever. But then they're like, we're going to block people and if we get blocked on here, and then maybe you just had a bad day playing that game, or your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend came on and made comments and then you blew up at what causes the ban and you know, how is this going to be spread across other platforms? Because it shouldn't be punished like lifelong for something you did, short of something really bad, like you threatened something terrible. You know what I mean?
Is it like points on your license? Like you have to go so long without saying anything controversial to get your gaming privilege back?
Right.
I mean, how does this work?
But this worries me, the fact that they're tying that into politics.
So let's talk about this. This is coming from TechSpot. A lot of people talking about it. Head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, wants cross-platform bans and block lists. Spencer also stated that Xbox is not a free speech platform. In brief, the Xbox boss, Phil Spencer, has always been a major supporter of cross-platform systems. For now, these systems mainly exist for multiplayer and online gaming, but the head of Xbox wants more, including cross-platform bans and shared user block lists.
This sounds like shit, because if they don't like you for whatever reason, they can make sure you're blocked from everywhere.
That is absolutely what's going to happen.
And that's absolutely garbage.
It's absolutely what's going to happen. So in a recent interview, Spencer commented on how the metaverse compares with online gaming communities and the current state of the video game industry. One topic he touched on during the discussion was harassment and how the industry can deal with it in the future. He believes a cross-platform ban system is a viable solution to prevent toxicity.
Okay, well, here's the problem. Here's the problem. I am completely against harassment and toxic behavior. But who determines what toxic behavior is? This is my problem. Here's a little story for you. So I have an incident where I have issues on Facebook now as an admin because I had somebody come in to a board, so something I'm admin, deliberately saying really shitty things, like things that they should have gotten over saying. To which I responded with, you're being a troll. You need to knock it off. They reported me to Facebook for saying they were a troll, and I'm the one who got in trouble for harassment and hate speech for calling them a troll. That's all I said. You're being a troll, or trolling behavior, or something like that. And because I said that, now I'm still facing issues from that over something that they cry bullied their way. So how much do we know if someone's going to come in here, try to bait people, and then when they get people upset and they say something back, that they're going to do something? You play games. How many times do you have like little 10-year-olds, telling you, like, sexually harassing you, telling you that they effed your mom and everything else? Are you going to ban all those 10-year-olds for life?
Yeah, you should.
I'm just like, what determines toxicity and harassment? Because, a lot of times people who are the victims end up being the ones who get in trouble if they're not, if they don't have the right agenda or, whatever.
Yeah, that's how they're going to determine it. It's going to be who you vote for. You can say whatever the hell you want to, but if it turns out that you're the wrong thinker that they think you are, then they will permaban you. Because so far, as I understand it, most of the permabans, or at least the bannings that were, collusion of different social media outlets or whatever, they do seem to be determined to take down, right-wing voices. I haven't seen anyone on the left who has been banned like some of these other people have been banned. So it will be an excuse. It will be abused, absolutely. It'll be like, hey, Jordan Peterson likes to play video games. Maybe he doesn't even have his mic on, but he likes to play video games. And we banned him from Facebook and Twitter or whatever, so now we're going to ban him from Xbox and PlayStation.
Even further, what's there to do to stop somebody? Okay, say if there's a fame or someone who's a Twitch streamer or something, and then someone doesn't like them, and so they get them reported for harassment and get them, or they're competition for somebody who they do like.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a very dangerous thing right here because, I'm 100% for, it shouldn't be a political base. I agree with that. I completely agree with that on either side. I don't think people come there to talk about politics. They want to play a damn game. But the harassment and the toxicity are very nebulous terms. And I'm very concerned about what that means because I've seen people get harassed. And it's like bullying at school. You see these kids that get bullied and bullied and bullied and bullied and bullied and no one does anything. And as soon as they fight back, they're the ones who are kicked out of school. And that's where I have an issue. And I'm just saying, could people, be harassed for whatever reason until the place where they fight back, and then they'll be the ones who get cross-banned? Yeah,
that is exactly what's going to happen. We've seen this happen on social media. We've seen the cry bully techniques. People that do this, they like to tattle on the teacher, and they basically will push people to fight back, and then the teacher doesn't see that you've had your hair pulled time and time and time again before you turn around and smack the kid. They just see that you smacked the kid, and they know how to, no pun intended, but these people know how to game it, and I guarantee you're going to have cancel culture taken to a whole new level because rando gamers are going to get canceled across platforms.
Well, it was like Cobra Kai season 3 where they were just like, they knew how to play the guidance counselor, and and then the people that were the innocent people got punished.
Yep.
And that's what I worry about. I get the point, and I don't disagree with the reasoning being they're trying to prevent users from being constantly harassed, bullied, attacked when they go to other platforms. Like they leave that one because they're being harassed there and they go someplace else and the same people follow them to harass them. I don't disagree with the idea, but I know that it's going to be abused heavily, and I'm concerned that it's going to turn into another way to silence people they don't like.
Oh, absolutely. So this is Phil Spencer. I'd love to be able to bring blocked user lists to other networks where I play. So this is the group of people I choose not to play with. Okay, if
that's one thing.
If that was portable, like I've got a single login to PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, whatever. That's one thing. And you're choosing, like, I block this idiot over here. Maybe it's my, ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. I don't want to deal with them over on the other network. I understand that. But if we're talking like the network decides that we don't want this person to play on any platform.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably where it's going to go if you listen to what he says next. He says, because I don't want to have to recreate that in every platform I play video games on. Again, if you're choosing to block those people or mute those people, I think that's your choice. The Xbox boss also commented about the connection between gaming and political polarization in the USA. Of course he did. Can't just be, hey, this guy is a piece of shit and I don't want to have to deal with him on PlayStation if I blocked him on Xbox. Spencer mentioned how online gaming communities became a place for people to talk, communicate, share, and socialize. It was expected to see people sharing their political views, but the Xbox social network wasn't designed for that purpose. One of the things we've stated about our social network is we're not a free speech platform. We're a platform around interactive entertainment and video games. We're not there to allow all kinds of social discourse to happen on our platform. That's not why we exist.
I agree with that.
That's what G4 is for.
Yeah, right.
Kotaku, Polygon.
I think that, if you're being fair and even-handed, I agree with that because I think people are just so damn tired of politics being shoved down their throat every place they effing go. Most people don't want that political shit anyway. They just want to go play a game, They don't want this. They don't want to be told what to think or how to think or they're a bad person if they don't agree.
Yeah, if they can keep all politics out of it, the problem is that as we've seen in recent years with websites like Polygon and Kotaku, and as we've seen with G4 TV, only one side of the aisle is muted. If you're saying, hey, we don't talk politics, period, here, then okay, fine. I think this is the ceasefire.
Sounds like what he's trying to do. He said from any political point of view.
Yeah.
So in that case, I agree.
He says it's more evident when considering what he said about Activision Blizzard. The sexual harassment scandal, stating Xbox was evaluating all aspects of its relationship with the video game publisher. Of course, that's a whole nother issue. That's not really a political issue. That is do we want to work with these people because of all these allegations and the headaches and the brand being damaged and all that? If it was truly...
I didn't know being sexually assaulted or harassed or is considered political issue.
Yeah, right.
Really?
Personally, I would love, that's one thing, that we've pushed for, and that's on both sides of the aisle, is that, pop culture, entertainment, should be kind of a ceasefire, zone, I think, for the most part. But it has become weirdly political. Now, if they can say, hey, all politics across the board, we don't talk about that here, but then how do you monitor that? Do you monitor everybody's, speech? Do you rely on people to tattle on other people? Like, oh my God, they mentioned Trump. They're Nazis. We're going to ban them.
Oh no, they like Biden. They're, soy boy cocks or something like that.
Yeah, it's the same shit, But again, the reason people are so cynical is so far, it's only been one side of the aisle that's been muted.
That's not untrue.
Yeah.
Even though they're in their personal, internal investigations, they'll tell you that's not the case.
They said that they are not interested in virtue shaming Activision, but I think they're going to proceed with caution because of the damage to the brand. But that was Activision. Look, Activision blew itself up. They did for sure. There's some shit going on over there. But it's going to be really interesting. And again, even if they would start out with the best of intentions and say, this is why we have like a cross-platform ban list, it will absolutely be abused.
Here's what I'm concerned. If you're talking about your own personal list, okay, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm confused. Why would you have it a cross-platform banning if you had your own block list? That doesn't make sense. They're very different things.
If you could sync your account, like say you're going to use, Google or whatever to log in. I'm just throwing it out here, blockchain or whatever, to log into multiple profiles on Xbox and PlayStation and EA, and then it would carry your block list with you. But you also
that's a block list, not the guy saying we're going to talk about cross banning.
Right. But then here's the thing too, that you have to assume that person is going to have the same username on every platform to be able to ban them.
That's true.
So then you're going to have to be like,
well, you're not banning them, you're blocking them. There's a difference. That's what I'm saying. He's like acting like, oh, it's just a list you take from platform to platform to block those people.
Yeah.
But wait, there's a difference between taking a list and blocking them like you do on Twitter and people getting banned from Twitter.
Yeah.
And the way it's worded is a cross-platform ban list sounds like something completely different than, oh, I can take a list and block people myself.
I think it was a little bit of a slip because I think the argument for it is going to be, the people that you have a problem with on Xbox, you don't want to deal with them on PlayStation. Again, how are you going to sync that up with their gamer tags?
But if you can, I mean, I get why people would use that, but that's not what banning cross-platform ban and cross-platform being able to block people that you don't like are two different things. That's why I'm like, what is it?
So then to even make that work, we know exactly what it's going to be. Then to make that work, you've got to have some sort of like facial recognition or something to make sure that player, they might have Noob 64 on one platform and Noob 69 on the other.
Yeah, but Noob 64 is going to be blocked. It might be somebody else.
Yeah, well, if there's a Noob 64 on PlayStation, what I'm saying? Like this,
I'm just saying it's a very dangerous thing. I mean, I understand. I understand the thought process behind it. I don't completely disagree with it. But what I'm saying is, this could be misused very, very, very easily.
It will absolutely be misused. That's the problem. Like once you start down that slope, it's going to be used to ban problematic gamers. And what is problematic depends on whose point of view you're taking in a lot of cases. I mean, there are some people that are legitimate douchebags and shitbags, and they probably shouldn't be allowed anywhere near other gamers. But then there are other people that may be like, well, I broke up with that toxic piece of shit, so now I'm going to get him in trouble. Or
I see him talking to some other girl and I don't like it, or boy, I don't like it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And like I said, with Facebook, apparently I'm still having issues. I'm not allowed to be the admin on stuff now.
Yep.
Because literally because I told someone to stop trolling, or I said they were being a troll or something like that. Because they were. They were deliberately trying to cause, a fight and troll and be nasty. And because of that, I'm perpetually punished. So a year later, and I'm still, not allowed to do it because of something that innocuous. It's absolute bullshit. And I'm like, so that's what I'm afraid of. You can have the best of intentions, but I don't think it's going to work out. If you're going to do something like this, you're going to need some kind of, clear-cut rubric saying these are the infractions, so there's no room for debate.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I think it's a matter of time until this happens. I think eventually your gamer tag will be like your freaking social security number, and I think it's gonna be tied to you wherever you go. And I think that they're gonna be able to block you wherever you go.
Stupid! You have to use the same name no matter where you go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens going forward. Absolutely, it's going to be abused.
Well, hopefully it's just what he's saying, and you can just take a list from platform to platform to block people that you might be harassing you or whatever, and not. Like I said, not a ban list that you're banned because someone reported you for harassment on one platform. Because you can be reported for harassment even when you didn't do a damn thing. And since when do they care about harassment? Because when there is harassment, I see people report legitimate harassment and they do absolutely nothing about it.
That is true. All right, so we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.